Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to Ghosts of Hawaii. I'm your host, you know who, Obaki Hunter. What I wanted to start off with tonight is to say mahalo nui loa to my dear friend Uilani, who texted me last night because I had asked a favor of her. And that favor was, could she watch the very first man camera ghost that I did, which was Take One. And that's what it was called. And so I'm very grateful for the fact. Hi, Neil Toma. I'm very grateful for the fact that she did just that for me. Kai, it's good to see you. So I waited for a while, of course, because I know she has a very busy schedule. And so last night she got a hold of me. And she did watch the video. And so she shared what she saw in the video. The thing, too, is she brought up a very good point. And that point was, I wish I had seen it live. And I think I know why she said that. I think I know why Uilani said, hi, Uilani. Good to see you. Speaking of which, there's Uilani. She also asked me to let her know when I'm going live and such. Because sometimes it's just so out of the blue. A lot of them have been out of the blue, right? Just, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do something tonight. And of course, Fridays I don't do anything because I respect Joe doing his live stream. So that'll probably be the only night that is off limits, possibly, to doing live streaming. So, but I get what Uilani was saying because I know that I have done these live streams in the past, and Uilani was just on target. Boom, the things that happened, there was, an ability to bring that forward and give a good visualization to everything. And I think one of the main reasons why oh no, Uilani, if you're busy, that's no problem. I understand. I'm just here to tell people what you shared with me. Hi, Carol A. It's good to see you. Um, but yeah, to give that visualization it's an added depth that is needed. And what I'm really grateful about is that, excuse me, when I did that very first man camera ghost, it was a real. I think the first two was very, very. it was it was not exactly. I'm going to say this straight up because I have no ego, or I hope people don't see me as having an ego. But I was very well. It's never scripted, but it was raw. It really. But then again, that's what I believe in. So it's kind of like you kind of how's the best way to say this? It's kind of like the point though. You're supposed to go in this raw. You're supposed to just show up at wherever you're going to go to, set up your equipment, whether it's elaborate or simple, and then just let things happen. And so, but that very first one was very raw because if you watch that video, after the fact that something had knocked over my tripod, I mean, I'm so caught up in the moment. I'm when I'm holding my at that point when I'm holding my camera, I'm clutching it in my hands. I'm clenching it. I could have break the damn camera. That's how much fear was involved. They're really that's my basic recollection because this is like 4 years ago, and I was just really, really just scared, really, really scared. And it's so funny because you watch that video, you see my finger at the corner of the screen, at the upper right hand of the camera lens, because I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm just basically, because no one could see me there, when no one sees me, my eyes are darting all over the place. At certain points, my camera is just facing directly in front of me, or it's because I don't really want to look around. I just don't want to look around. And but thanks to Uilani, it brought that needed imagery into the picture. So I'd like to go over some of the notes that she said about what happened that night. So let me go ahead and look at this. I'm looking at my text messaging. So she was saying, because I did hear those, and when we were doing Man Camera Ghost, well, I was doing it. I heard whispering. I heard voices. She said there was a lot of talking whispers. I was also hearing three spirits that was close around you. One was a woman, one was a male, and the third, an entity, felt animal dog. And me and Uilani, we had a discussion about that. We really did, because that place, Old Pali Drive, which I still consider. That's why you see so many investigations. That's why you see so many videos. So many stories have come out of that place. It's one of the most, not only the most haunted places in Hawaii. It's probably one of the most haunted places in the world. And the only way for you to have that experience, which I'm not saying, hey, jump in your car and head on over there. I'm never going to say that to anyone. Excuse me. But the only way for you to have that is to actually be there. And not, the thing too is not just, and I'm not encouraging, because I'm saying, no, don't do it. I'm not exactly the smartest man in the world for some of the things I do, although I try to put a message into that. We're going to be having a show on that as well, the responsibility of the paranormal. But based upon experiences, both myself and hopefully others have had, it's basically one of the most haunted places in the world. I'm just going to say it straight out. Wilani says, no, I'm just streaming, so just like music in the background. Lots, LOL. Now let's get down to business. Yes, let's do that. Troy says, hi, everyone. Um, Uilani says, poor thing you, I could feel your emotions. If I touch things and watch live videos, I can take on feeling emotions and and see other things that's happening. And by the way, this is a rare thing for me and Uilani. Excuse me. Ugh, I drank something wrong earlier. My pipes are like, you gotta clear that out. So anyway, usually when I do this, Uilani is usually on the phone with me. We have a fantastic conversation. But I wanted to do this once, as if along the lines of just taking her notes and then expressing them and see if we are on the same page together. So yeah, it was just a crazy night, real crazy. And so what's interesting again is she said this entity that felt like an animal or a dog. That entity is very well known, not only for that area of the island, which again, I swear to you, is one of the most haunted places on earth. I could go to other places, I swear to you, and things would happen and pop up, and it would make me say, well, that reminds me of Old Pali Drive. Literally just say that. And maybe some of these uh, paranormal events that would happen would be more vivid at times, but by gosh, that place has shown me everything from spirits to giants to everything in between, interdimensional, including one point where we had an interdimensional being show itself. Of course, we can never solidify and give it one concrete answer like, yeah, this was exactly that, and this was exactly this. We can never do that. But as far as like the visualization and everything is concerned, then yeah, that's what you got. So, but anyway, the dog is very much so well known for that place. And I had a picture before on Facebook. I used to have this thing where I would walk around with my either my infrared or my full spectrum, and I would do videos, or I would do, I should say, more along the lines of videos were too distracting for me because I was too scared to just stand still and just film. So I take a lot of pictures, and in one of the pictures I had, there was a dog. It looked like a big black dog. Now, why is that so interesting? The reason why it's so interesting is based partly upon what Joe Punohu had said to me before, and my personal, like, just my personal experiences as well. And that is, there is uh, a dog entity called Kalpe, and his part of his area is Nuuanu, definitely. So I find that to be rather interesting as well. And so I automatically gravitated towards what Huilani says. And excuse me, guys, we're going to really keep this very Ghost of Hawaii focused. I don't mind people bringing up other stuff, but since these are my experiences, let's keep it very Ghost of Hawaii focused. Just let people know in the audience, and not having to bring anything else into the picture, because again, we're going over notes for one thing. And then I mentioned that to Uilani about the picture of a dog, and she thought that it was very amazing. Well, it was for me, and it just totally made, the thing too, right? Is for me, I was lucky. I took these photos and then I left and I went home. It's when I was reviewing. It's when a lot of stuff pops up. Is the reviewing of evidence, whether it be EVP, photos, etc. You kind of put it all together. That's when if I were to have seen this dog while I was taking pics up there in the dark, I probably would have turned around and left because I don't want to deal with call pay or anything like that. Uh, but yeah, I have that picture, and I think you guys saw in the past. I'm not sure if Uilani saw it, but there is a picture of what I honestly believe could very well be an Inugami. And that has to do when I was, first starting off in the paranormal. You guys already know about the temple, and if you guys don't know, then maybe towards Halloween. I haven't done it for years, but I did the story about the Inogami encounter that we had, and I believe this Inogami, which in Japanese is a dog demon, actually followed us around. Excuse me. Oh, that was so bad earlier, right before I went on online. I mean, yeah, online. I just anyway, it was scary, and that picture is scary too. And then so there's dog related stuff that's up there. So for Uilani to just zone in on this, it's just particularly impressive to me. She said that must have been an oh whoa, that must have been awesome pic, referring to the dog. The walking behind you right before the tripod snapped, it was from the animal thingy, dog. He didn't like that. Yeah, he was in a mood. I guess he was in a bad mood. He didn't particularly like the prayers. And then after that, she goes on to say that the male and lady let him go, but did come closer, and he kind of went back into the brush. I believe it made that whistle screeching sound. And I go, oh wow. So you know what's interesting is the fact that if we try to look at this spirit landscape, right, which is what Uilani is envisioning and seeing and then sharing with me, um, I find it kind of like matching up to what was going on with me, because it did feel like something very intense and heavy um, that was happening. And I'm kind of wondering now if this dog entity was whistling at me, kind of like in mockery. Because, what do you do to, when you see a dog, how do you get its attention? Right? You whistle. You whistle at it. What's also interesting is there was these other spirits, but they were more along the lines of observing and watching. And from what Uilani says, let me go on to see what she says. The footsteps was the lady walking around. I did hear giggling in background sometime after the tripod snapped from beyond the fence. But I felt they didn't take kindly to the prayers only because it's not what they used to, if that makes sense. I got the feeling when you use the Hawaiian words, it mixed them up like maybe I think if you did a prayer in Hawaiian, they would understand better. So, yeah, I guess you could say there's a translation thing that occurred that upset the spirits. You know, everything's a learning curve in life. It's not just the paranormal, but you know, I take notes in this stuff. The only thing I don't like is people taking notes as well and saying, well, you know, if you approach it my way or this way, it's actually a better outcome. Trust me, in the paranormal, that doesn't exist. It does not exist. You only learn and then you apply your lessons. You don't try to take those lessons and elevate yourself above the person who is learning. That's not spiritual at all. So I'm just putting this into the picture right away because I know how that kind of information can just poof, it can just become part of, you know, the way people think, especially with, you know, certain types of scenarios like social media and stuff like that. I don't believe in uh, group tanks, think tanks, and all that stuff. I believe that we're all free thinkers and we encourage learning. That's basically my vibe. And if that's not the case, if people don't like that, I understand, but I'm at least honest enough to express that. So my learning curve, right? And I'm glad Uilani let me know about that. She goes on to say, I know sometimes an Oli may be better than follow up with your prayers in English in some cases, but definitely active. And I'm sorry your stuff got broken. But the young lady did stand up by you. I do feel she was a murder victim, but further away from that place. You guys want to know what's really impressive about Uilani again? From what we understand, again, I can only share things that were shared with me. That's the best I can do, right? That's the best I can do. Is the fact that I heard about a woman being murdered in the vicinity, and we're not talking about Therese Wilder. We're not talking about her. This was a young lady. Therese Wilder died in her 60s, like 67 or something like that. I'd have to, you know, look at the newspaper clipping. It's not in front of me right now. But there was a younger lady that was murdered, from what we understand. So that's amazing. Again, bang, spot on with Uilani. Thumbs up to you, my friend, for actually saying that. And if it is further away from that place, from what I heard, I can only say that because people are quick to jump on board and say, hey, you know what? It's actually this. I can only tell you what I hear. It occurred up the road near the Judd Trail vicinity with this murdered victim. Let's see here. Let's see who's on. Oh, Kai Tars, hi Troy. Hi Troy. Troy, is always good to see you, of course, if I didn't say that earlier. Hi Troy, Carol. I like how everybody greets each other. I really appreciate that. Um, I've listened to Carol said, I've listened to a lot of your old Poly Road programs. Never realized you saw a giant. Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah, that happened. And that really broadened the possibilities when that started to happen. I wasn't even thinking mythical or anything. I'm just saying that it's a possibility that things that we don't understand can and will take place. Um, Undaunted, it's good to see you. Carol A says, hi, Undaunted. Excuse me, guys. Uilani says, I would say so, him trying to scare or intimidate. Yes, you do what you know always. I can give what I hear and gather from talking to spirits and their side of what they would like. Of course. This is as I've always said when it comes to spirits and ghosts and everything, that you know, the objective of this channel is not so much to highlight everything that is seen as just, you know, individually, but also, I mean, from people's point of views. That's what I believe. I believe in free thinkers. I really do. I honestly believe that. From the very beginning, I've believed in free thinking. But also the fact that it's not just about that. It's also from where the spirit is coming from. What's their perspective? What's their story? What do they have to share? What is their input? Because you're not going to get all of the answers from a spirit box. You're not going to get that. That's just, you know, facts that spirits need to share in different ways. And so what Leilani was saying, I totally understand and I get. I totally get what she was saying. Let's see. Good evening. What did I miss? Oh, Lone Sinner. My friend Lone Sinner. Good to see you. We're talking about what happened at the very first event I did for Man Camera Ghost. I requested Uilani to, when she had free time, because I know she's busy, I requested her to watch the video and give me some notes as far as what was going on during that period of time, because I was really, I was really not myself. And that's the one thing, again, I don't like is just judging people. I hope nobody's judging me for that. Because I hate that, because that's happened so many times. It really made me go independent, like more than ever before. When people are like, they're analyzing you, I cannot stand when people analyze. So please don't analyze me if I say I'm not myself, because trust me, I don't care who you are in this field. I don't care, how big your name is or your reputation or whatever the case may be. If something big enough and bad enough and scary enough happens to you, you will go through being discombobulated. I really don't think anyone is has that bulletproof ability when it comes to spirits and emotions. It just does not exist. Zero. Doesn't exist at all. And I'll call it out and say, if people say that, you're just lying to elevate. And that's not a good thing. No, Shay's like, how's it stay at the Fiji concert? Popping in to say hello. Oh, you're at the concert too. Kai says, hi, Undaunted. Hi, Aloha Cricket. Yes, Oilani says, yes, it's still up to the individuals what they still want to do. I would never push anything onto anyone. You do what you want to the end. Right? That's where the learning curve comes in. That's where the learning curve comes in. So, like, again, we're going to be doing. I'm letting you guys know now that there is a live stream coming up, especially as we get closer to Halloween. The next one I really want to do, and you guys are all invited to come and listen if you want to or not, is your responsibility to the paranormal. And I'll explain that more when we actually do that live stream. We will have a discussion about that, because that's what this is all about. These live streams. I like to have conversations with people. As long as we're not here to judge, as long as there's nothing lofty or anything else, and we're all even field, we're all equals in things, then hey, let's have that discussion. Let's really talk ghosts. Let's broaden our horizons, right? Carol A says, hello, Shamrock, enjoy the concert. Yeah, enjoy the concert. Everyone's still greeting each other. Hi, Lone Sinner. Wilani says, nobody should judge. We all get like that. Things out there throws anyone and everything off and scares every one of us. Yes. Unfortunately, I've ran across situations where it's not as consistent with that. But you're right, Wilani. You're absolutely right. Carol A says, given the circumstances, I'd have been shaking in my boots. Doubt it. I'd have the courage to do what you do. I'm surprised I had. I don't know if it's courage. Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag. Let's just say that, Carol. It's a mixed bag of courage and I mean, I have to be my own worst critic, right? So it's a mixed bag of courage and stupidity. I'll just be honest with you about that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Shay. That was stupid spell check that wrote Shamrock. Wilani says, LOL, I scared more doing my remotes a lot of times. I don't blame you. You are right there, front and center. And again, we have a guest coming up in just a few days who has been front and center with ghosts all of her life. I mean, from the very beginning. when she was young. Oh, excuse me. Oh, starting to get better uh, with my speaking and stuff. Though my voice sounds a little bit more raw. I was kind of coughing a little bit earlier because of that. Um, and she goes on to say, I bet that I felt this woman kept things at bay. The man was very big and stood quietly not too far from her, like as if to as a guard for her. He was big. You know what? Maybe he was. I know that in another case that me and my friend Joe and Spooky Kind Investigations we did. When I always say years ago, guys, don't mind me because actively involved. I mean, I have been throughout the years, but these really big ones was like years ago. And we were up at an area where there was this murder victim. I don't want to go into details with this another murder victim, but my friend, who was again another gifted individual, she told us to go to this place and to use white candles to bring peace to her. And the visualization that was given to us is that this person who was murdered had other spirits around her, looking over her, watching over her. So when Uilani mentions stuff like this, again, it does create a parallel. It does create a connection. So yes, I believe that that could have been the case. That that could have been someone that was guarding her. So it's fascinating. It is to hear this kind of stuff, the stuff that she shares. And then she goes on to say, yes, there would have. What did I say? I said to her, I need to do a live stream because your results are so accurate. I'm tripping out. The first one felt really really dark. That's the first live stream I did for Man Camera Ghost. It was intense. You guys see me pointing the camera at the road or pointing to some pillars. I'm too scared to look around. I'm just trying to be hyper focused because of everything that's going on. It was really dark that night, and I don't mean dark as in lucky I have a light. I mean dark as in the energy there. And then she goes on to say, yes, there would have been Mr. Doggy walking around. I feel he was following you from before you got to that spot, but damn, um, it was watching. What if I was watching the live when it was happening? I could get way more. That's the part when she said that to me. It's like, yeah, I can imagine because Uilani has seen a lot of my live streams. It's really funny because I didn't even know who Uilani was back then. I think she went under the name of Mary, and I was like, oh, one of my people that like to watch is out there, and we've built such a close personal friendship since then. The dark presence was the doggy. He was following you going up to the spot where you put the tripod down. That makes sense because if you watch, you guys, if you haven't seen the first Man Camera Ghost, you're gonna hear me say stuff like, um, "Don't come near me." I think Uilani picked up on that too. Don't come near me. Stay away from me. And I was saying stuff like that right up to the moment where the tripod fell. To stay away from me. Don't come near me. Then it just, from what I remember, it was so fast, right? It was so quick. Like you see the tripod like just move real fast, like almost like up in the air, and then it just went down. And here's the other weird thing. I'm glad we're talking about this tonight. There was two weird things that happened at that Man Camera Ghost. The second thing that was crazy was I had put my spirit box away, and then something took the spirit box out of my bag and put it on and threw it on the ground. No one saw that, but I'm like, how the hell? And I picked up the spirit box. I think that's why, doing the spirit box and everything was really intense. It's like, wow, this something is saying something more about the spirit box. I didn't really do much with the spirit box that night. And I think the reason why was because something took the spirit box out of my bag. That was the other spooky thing. And then just put it on the ground. And I was like, whoa, okay, then you're trying to tell me something. So that was really trippy. Oh, that's why. Uilani says, yes, that's my first name. And yes, I changed my screen name to my Hawaiian name when my Facebook got hacked. That makes sense to me. So there is this lady watching named Mary. And I'm like, oh, hey, one of my people that like to watch, well, one of the people out there that likes to watch. Um, but that was I that was for using spirit boxes, that was probably the most. I don't know why that kind of like went above my head somewhere, that something could actually physically touch my spirit box, because it's the classic sign of a ghost, right? And it's usually related to haunted houses. How many times have you seen a movie, or you've read a book or a TV show, and they said, "Hey, you know something? I live in this house. Scary things are happening. I put something down, and then it's gone, and it reappears. It reappears somewhere else, like something actually physically, that's a spirit, can touch your an object and move it, just like with poltergeist activity." So it was either it took it physically out and it threw it on the ground, or maybe it was a teleportation type thing. I'm not sure, but it was on the ground and I picked it up, and and even if it was, okay, like if someone's going to naysay me, because there are naysayers out there. Oh, you had it on the pillar. And I did at one point have it on the pillar. Trust me, you would hear it hitting the ground, or I would have seen it fly off the pillar, because I was at that point, I was very hyper aware of everything that I had on me. I was very hyper aware, and yes, I did smoke a lot of cigarettes that night. That's why some people were watching, going, "Hey, I see Miss." It's like, no, I'm chain smoking, because I don't do that anymore. But I was just so like, what else is going to happen? And you don't want to say that out loud. You don't want to say what else is going to happen when you're in a haunted place. So I'm really grateful that Uilani was able to, give me an idea as to what some of these things were that was happening that night. I'm very, very grateful, because it does create for me a learning curve. It really, truly does. And I can take that information that I heard about, and I can apply it in the future. I mean, in some way. I mean, usually these things kick in when I'm at a place, and then it's like, oh yeah, someone said this, and it's from Uilani or for someone else that I know, and it does help. It really does, and it's just like I hope some of the things I share with other people help as well, because that was one of the most. I didn't know it was that crazy. So the second one, of course, it was more centered around what was coming out of the spirit box. This was more physical activity that was taking place. So that's the real thing that was interesting about this particular set of circumstances. Um, and Oilani says, now things were being touched and objects moved around, mainly to show you what they can do. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. They were trying to show me something about their abilities and such. And you know what? To be honest with you guys, it didn't take much for me to to get the message after a while, and that they were there. And I'm grateful that someone took interest in me and said, "Hey, leave him alone." From that side of the fence, right? I mean, I'm not talking about the fence that was there at Morgan's Corner. I'm talking about, hey, leave him alone, from the other side where spirits dwelled and everything. That somebody actually kind of like stood up for me and said, something about that. So I wanted to do this video, and I wanted to take this opportunity to give you guys an update on it. If you guys like, feel free to go and take a look at Man Camera Ghost. It's called Man Camera Ghost Take One, and you can watch that. And yeah, it's again, I am going to be doing another one And that one is really, at least stuff like this kind of gets me ready for it. And I'm also going to be doing a survey with you guys. So if you guys really like watching these live streams and everything, look for that survey that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a survey with you guys. And I would like to hear your input as far as having that survey goes. And then you'll see what it is when I do it. I don't like to just say everything all at once. Yeah. I like to save it for that. So the next couple of live streams, it'll happen within the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow. Um, there's an early preliminary birthday celebration for me. It's not my birthday yet, but I'm going to be out celebrating an early preliminary birthday thing tomorrow. And so I might do one tomorrow, I might not. But the next one, if that kind of gets you interested, will be about responsibility for the paranormal. Are we just thrill seeking? You'll hear everything when I do it again. And then probably the one after that will be a survey. And you guys please give me your feedback on on what you think that is when we do it. And then I think after that I have my guest, and I'm very happy to be able to have a conversation with her because she has been so closely intertwined in my life, and we've been through ups and downs. I mean, she was there when the first real big, horrifying demonic possession took place. As a matter of fact, she was able to guide me with angelic visits and stuff. The angels were coming into the situation before I got possessed. One day we'll probably have an interview about that because she can really tell the audience exactly what the angels were saying and such too. So it'll be multi-part interviews as well. But I just really, for some reason, I felt, I really truly felt that what was important was that one big event that because it left like such an impression on me when she had that job as a security guard. It really truly left an impression on me. And of course, this was right around the time when I was starting to get involved with the paranormal. It was something else. It was so scary that I had to buy an extra cell phone, or we had to get an extra cell phone so she could be in contact with me, because that's how scary these things got. So you're gonna hear that on Wednesday. You're gonna hear that first initial interview with Jen. And the only reason why I call her a spiritual medium is because she identifies as that. She really identifies as being a spiritual medium, and based upon the fact that she has been channeled and everything and stuff, I can see why. I can really see why. So the show comes on later, guys. It's not like these shows that I have. If you can set your time to 9:30 Hawaii time, it's going to be a later show because she does have stuff to do, and that's about the time she has some free time. So it'll be 9:30. I will put up another flyer within a day or two. Probably within, yeah, maybe tonight even, I'll put up another flyer. And look for it on my community post. If you're on my Instagram, then you can look for the post for that as well as a reminder. Or you can, usually my Instagram posts go on Facebook too. So yeah, 9:30 Hawaii time, guys. 9:30 Hawaii time. And that's a little bit late for some of you folks out there. So my apologies, but I think you'll like it. For those that like to be here live, yeah, and like to interact and talk. Of course, if you have some questions, if I can field through those questions, then yeah, I will make sure that they are given to her, and then you guys can interact in some way, or I can interact with you guys about that. Uilani says, awesome, can't wait, even Spirit is waiting. Spirits are waiting for this interview? Excuse me. That's impressive. Spirits are waiting for this interview. We have an audience. We have a much bigger audience than I could ever imagine as well. So yeah, I'm just like all of you guys. I just to, and I give her credit, you guys. I give Jen credit because, and it's never easy for some people. You know, I have to kind of identify with the guests, yeah, that come on this channel. I have to identify with them because it's not easy to relive some of these things, yeah. So even before I talked to her, you know, mahalo Jen, and even mahalo Uilani and Joe Pinoho and everyone else that I've had in the past, Dee Momolani, Colleen, and everyone else. Mahalo for being guests on on this channel, because I know sometimes it's just not easy to go through something. For some people it is, but some people it isn't. You know, I'm just being very uh, empathy. You know, as much empathy as possible. That's right. Yeah. Oh, Wheelan says, "Yeah, I got that shot. I got that shot out. Remember? Yellow L. Yes, I remember Wheelani. I really do. It's interesting because Wheelani and Jen kind of hit it off pretty good. So yeah, that's a big one. And then after that, a week from now, we take a little break. And by the way, thank you for those that did. I know it probably didn't, you know, feel like the normal course of things, but I think as time goes on, we need to see balance in life, right? And we need to see more and more peaceful elements. For those of you that did like the the Zen videos, thank you very much, because I really believe that contributing to that is so important. It keeps us more healthy and you know, positively um, motivated to be able to be strong enough to, instead of giving up on things in the world, we have a break, right? We can just rejuvenate ourselves in one way or another. And I'm not only saying, oh, watch my videos or the other videos on YouTube. Oh, what I like to also mention as a message is get out there sometimes when you can. Go to the forest, go to the beach, go to someplace you identify with that makes you happy, and let that rejuvenate you guys. Really, that just let that rejuvenate you, because that is so important to have. And yeah, I really appreciate everything that you guys, and then you know, I appreciate it because you guys are, some of you are showing interest in this. You guys are, and I appreciate you showing interest in it. So far, it's been some people watching it, but I really enjoyed this, the doing the scenes of nature and such. There's still, you know, like anything else, I still have to explore and try out new things. But yeah, get out there, enjoy nature. Nature is so important. Yeah, it never is really. Kai said it never is easy to relive those situations. No, they're not. They are not. Yeah. And then Wilani says, "Yes, Kai. It gets very hard at times. It takes a lot. It takes a toll. It takes a toll. Yes, I believe it. Even from my point of view, like when I share things with you guys, even this thing about what happened with the first man camera ghost event. Yeah, it's putting it all together, right, and then sharing it with others can sometimes, you know, drain you a bit. And at least with that one, that was really nice because at the end you see, and like I say, I try to bring a lens of reality to it. So Faye picks me up, and you know, we go riding and we talk. I thought that was good too, and it just shows how much aloha we have in our community. And much mahalo to Faye for all the things that. 'Cause that's not the first time she's pulled me out of a situation where I get too involved, because that's me not being very smart, letting that happen. So anyway, guys, yeah, the next day or two, we're going to be talking about the responsibility, or maybe even tomorrow, I don't know, or Monday, the responsibility of the paranormal. And then we're going to do a survey. That one probably won't be a very long live stream either, because I just want your input on something, and I will share it to you then. And then poof, we'll be going straight into that interview. And then the following week, Yeah, that was so cool of Faye. Got to give a big aloha to her. Yeah, Faye is an incredible person. She really is. You know, there's a love in our community, and Faye has exemplified that sense of aloha. She really truly has, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to her for that very reason that she does show that aloha, and it kind of like helped me bounce back quicker because sometimes when you do these things, it takes a while to come out of it. You know, you're not completely out of the woods even if you left the woods. You have to go through a transitional thing emotionally and spiritually to get back to where you were before all of it happened. And so very grateful to her. But yeah, it was a good time, guys. It really was. It was a good time to have someone like Faye understand where I was coming from, and then connect with me and everything. And by the time I got home that night, I was starting to feel better a lot quicker, because Faye understands. Faye goes out to these places. She knows. She's been there with a spirit box, and it'll start talking Japanese, and definitely there's a connect the dots there because Faye talks Japanese. She speaks Japanese. So, she understands what these experiences are like. And there was that one time where there was this spirit energy that was coming towards me. I know she shared the story before, and she had to tell me, get in the car, because it was coming right at me. So Faye has done a lot, just like all the rest of the people that had been in my life when it comes to the paranormal and everything. So there you have it, guys. Thank you, Uilani. Once again, she is still here. I know she's at the Fiji concert. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Fiji pass away? I thought Fiji passed away. So this is a memorial concert then. And I was praying for him for a while when I found out he passed away. Rest in peace, Fiji. Rest in peace. It's been a rough week, yeah, for people. With the passing of, and I did a video on that already about the passing of Charlie Kirk. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. He was a man that really sought balance, and he sought peaceful outcomes. And I think, we need more of that in today's world. And it's such a tragic loss to everyone. It's been a rough month or two. We've lost a lot of important people for different reasons. Yeah, we've lost them, but make no mistake about it, guys. And I'm just saying this real quickly, then we're wrapping it up. The death of Charlie Kirk was a huge. I'm not trying to be funny, because it's not. It's the most serious thing of all. And I've always respected this man and his work. It was another case of the shot heard around the world. It really truly was. And I hope we come out of this as better people. I hope we come out of this as better people. Uilani says, Mahalo, yes, it's his tribute concert. I'm just streaming it. Wish I was there. Uh, but I can I can remote too. That's cute. Uilani, you're so amazing. Kai Tara says, yeah, I love Fiji. I love Fiji too. I do. And it's important to carry on a person's memory into your own life. It's so important to carry that on in the right way. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I know that there are probably people that are part of this channel that probably um, are like, what is he talking about now? Sometimes we have to keep the world involved with the spirit world. That's the only way this thing works out. We have to exist with spirits. We have to also exist in this world with them, but also individually. And there are concerns that are connected with it. And I try to humanize this channel. I really do try to humanize it. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but if you enjoy it, hey, come back and listen. Check it out. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, the after this interview, it's gonna be great. I can't wait for the old Hawaii one. I really can't wait. For those of you that have been around for quite a while and you live here or you know a lot about Hawaii and its recent past, this is going to be a good show. I'm going to have to use the F word. I'm going to have to say the word fun It's going to be fun, but also going to be heartwarming, and of course, maybe a little sad because we have to think about what it was like back then and what life is like now, but mostly heartwarming, and some of it's going to be fun. So that's the following week. And then after that, guys, after that, oh my goodness, it's the month of Halloween. It comes by so fast. And I'm going to try and pace myself this year because last year it literally knocked me out. And it'll come up with the whole thing about the responsibility of the paranormal. It'll come up with that as well. That's going to be part of the discussion, and that's why I really like talking to all of you and hearing your. Um, I like hearing all of your input when we have our shows. I mean, and also our live streams. Uh, Uilani says, "Rest in love to all. Nobody should be killed for what they believe in and opinions." Yes, this was tragedy, and I like Charlie Kirk. I used to watch him like in the beginning. It was like a few years ago, and I appreciated his approach of standing behind what he believed in, but giving everyone an opportunity to express themselves. So, yeah, rest in love, Charlie. Rest in love. Highly respected man in my heart. Um, Kai Torres, I have a lot of his Fiji songs on my playlist. Oh yeah, hey, you're on the mainland, right? So it brings you a little bit closer to home, which is good. Kai, you probably like this show on Retro Hawaii or Old Hawaii. You'll probably like it. I think you will. Hopefully, others will like it as well. And I can't wait because I've been hyping him up for a long time. This is a very cool guy. His name is Dennis. He is a very cool guy. I think you guys will like what he has to share and everything too. So that pretty much wraps things up, guys. Thank you so much to Uilani for taking the time out of her busy schedule to watch one of my videos. I don't even know if she actually watched it. She said that she wished she had watched it, so I guess she didn't see that one. This was 4 years ago. But thank you, Oilani, for taking time out of your schedule to watch the video and then give me your input. And again, chicken skin, yeah, chicken skin. That there is a dog spirit that haunts that area. And she said, Mr. Doggy, and of course, Kalpe. It kind of like more or less falls in line with Kalpe. It really, really does. So, Kai Tar says, yes, Oregon, I miss home. I know you miss home. Come back one day. Come back and visit. Uilani Mahalo Obaki and everyone. No, I watched it. Yeah, I know you did. And you know what? Um, I understand, Kai. You should come back and visit. And I understand, uh, Uilani, what I'm saying as far as understanding is that was a hell of a long video. And thanks for watching it because I know most of the time I was just so scared. I didn't want to look around. And what you see in the camera is me like not really wanting to look around because things were happening. So thank you for watching pillars and a road in front of me. I think at one point I walked across the street. Then I came back right away because like no, I don't want to be far away from like my cross and my holy water and stuff. Which I'm glad. I think that helped me a lot too. My faith is what really pulled me through. So of course, the most important thing to say is thank you, Keokua. I know he doesn't agree with what I do, but he watches over me anyway. And that'll probably translate into what I finally decide to do with the paranormal. And that is, one day I'm going to say aloha and leave it up to other people. Although I think we should all find a much better path in the future. And with that said, guys, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow or the day after. One or two more live streams and then that big interview with Jen. You all take care of yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Kai, big hug to you. Um, Come back one day. Come back. Hawaii is always here. Hawaii is here for you. Just like I try to share Hawaii with everyone out there. Yeah. Ghosts of Hawaii, your home for a dose of ghosts and people who can see these things, like Uilani. And soon we will talk to Jen as well. So, yeah. Aristocat. Oh, hey, Aristocat. Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. Yes, Uilani and Aristocat. God bless. Talk to you all later. Have a good night. Have a good Saturday night. Aloha.